All right, so Hell House, LLC. I don't know why it's that at the end, but anyway, this is a lost footage film from 2015, which it seems older. I don't know, like it seemed like it seemed like it was shot in 2009 because that's when it takes place. So this whole time I'm thinking this is a 2009 movie, really, but no, it's 2015. But apparently this is a well-regarded lost footage film. And the only thing, now I think I saw snippets of this before, but funny enough, it was the ending I saw, shot of a character at the end in a room and figures. But, and familiarize you with my thoughts on lost footage films. I do like lost footage when it's done right, in my opinion, such as Above, So Below, good movie, good ending. It's not like typical lost footage films, endings. The Paranormal Activity films, I off and on, I like them for what they are. I like the newest one. Apparently, I'm the only one because everybody else hated the, what was it, Next of Kin. I love that one. Um, it actually tried to do something different, and even the ending's different-ish. But um, yeah, so this movie reminded me, the concept anyway, or the plot of it a bit, was the fact that you have characters in this where they're, I guess they bought this um old hotel, and it has history. They don't really know much about it other than, I guess, some of it. They mention like the town folk, because this is shot again lost footage, but also is sort of like a mockumentary type thing, sort of like where they show news footage of the aftermath, which I thought was cool. Um, but yeah, anyway, there's another movie called The Houses. I think it's called Houses October Built, which that dealt with haunted houses attractions, and I liked that idea of this group of friends going to different haunted house attractions, and weird stuff starts happening with that as they visit more and more haunted houses. Whereas here, I guess they're renovating. They bought the property and they want to turn it into a haunted house attraction, and you know, paranormal stuff starts happening. But the movie starts out with the incident of everything leading up to it, in those few final moments, pretty much, of the stuff that went wrong. But pretty much 5 years after 15 people were killed during a haunted house tour, a documentary crew visits the scene to investigate what really happened. That's kind of not. It's true, but it's not. This synopsis is kind of not. Because it doesn't deal. Because it's mainly, again, these couple friends. They go to this Abaddon hotel, and they want to turn it into a haunted house attraction. But then you have footage of interviews of other people who dug into like the history of this place, or they're trying to figure out what really happened at this hotel during that opening night of their attraction. Um, and you get backstory of the hotel a bit with a guy. I forget the guy's name, but I guess you get the gist that he might have been caught into the occult, and he had his own cult of followers, and so there's like some backstory with some mythology there. I will say it's decent in the scares. It doesn't do a whole jump scare like Paranormal Activity does in spots. Whereas like this one's more quiet, more slow burn. I like that. It wasn't really boring for me, so I like that. There is a director's cut of this. I guess I didn't. The version I saw, I guess, wasn't the director's cut because I think apparently, I guess after the credits, then you get the deleted scenes or whatever. But I don't know why you didn't just splice them into the actual movie. But yeah, now the ending for it, I don't like the ending because it's basically typical lost footage endings, which I don't like. That can work sometimes for me, like Unfriended. I didn't mind it there because it actually needed, well, but it made sense of why it ended the way it ended there. Whereas this, I would have liked it. Granted, there is a twist, but then at the end, but the whole. I didn't really find none of the characters being stupid in this, really. Like, everybody was kind of, to me anyway, smart a bit, where everybody at least stayed together at night when stuff was going on. Because pretty much this group of friends that are working on this hotel or staying a few nights, and stuff starts to happen. There is, like, if you don't like clowns, there's a few scenes with clowns. Well, really just one clown, but which I thought was decent. But yeah, I guess apparently like the sequels, they try to dig more into mythology of this stuff. So I don't know, but yeah, this first film is well regarded. It gets a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb. So yeah, overall, I like the idea. I like because I used to work at a haunted house, so I sort of relate it to these people on that spot. Anyway, so I did like the characters somewhat. Well, somewhat I liked the camera guy. I think Paul. I thought he was funny. Um, but everybody else is fine. Although they do mention when stuff starts to happen, like the one guy freaks out over mannequin clowns moving. He wants to leave, but then one of the friends has to tell him a secret, and we don't even know what that secret is. They don't never say what it is. I thought maybe about the Alex character, they never, I don't think, ever say why the guy decides not to leave. But you have this girl, Sarah, who by the end that's kind of weird with her. I don't think they should have done what they did with that character, but whatever. I would, if it didn't need to have a twist at the end with that. Thought that was dumb. It's really the only thing holding this movie back for me is the ending. Decisions from the director or writer, who is if I can get the Stefan Cognetti. He wrote and directed this. But yeah, overall, the acting's fine. It's shot fine. It's edited fine. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. But again, the stuff I like, the idea of these people building or trying to make a haunted house in this hotel attraction. Stuff starts to happen with the clown mannequins or characters actually being smart where they're in group, they decide to stay together when stuff is happening at certain points in the film. I did like the mockumentary aspect of the film where you have they cut away from the lost footage into like the interviews of people. So yeah, overall, I do recommend it if you like lost footage, if you like paranormal activity type films. then I would say go for this. I don't know if you've seen the if you like this, I would say probably watch the sequels. Granted, I haven't seen them, so my uh, view of that might change after I watch the sequels. And I know there is a new one coming out, apparently. I guess it's this year. So, yeah, I should be done by then with at least the first three. So, yeah. Alright, alright, folks. Welcome back to another review and thoughts on. This time, checking out the sequel to Hell House LLC 2, the Abaddon Hotel. Now, this one takes place 8 years after the first film, I guess. Um, Pretty much 8 years after the hotel's tragic opening, an investigation of the team of journalists is convinced the key evidence remains in the Abaddon Hotel. This girl Jessica decides to get a group of people together and try to shed light on the truth and mystery of the Abaddon Hotel. Now, it's basically, I mean, okay, I'll say this. While it is a bit, copy and paste of the first one, really, they do try to at least expand on the anthology of this, and was it Andrew Tully, which I don't really care for the climax of this film because I'm gonna spoil it, but right now I'm gonna say my thoughts overall of the film. Um, I mean, again, like the first one, I didn't mind overall. Aside from the ending, I don't like the ending because it's basically the same thing that happened in the first film. It goes to this one's ending, so it's really not effective after the first time. So, plus they don't explain how the ghosts are able to, navigate away from the hotel, even though they're demons or ghosts or whatever. And they're able to, I guess, beckon people to come to this hotel, but I don't know. Like, it didn't make me frustrated, but again, like the climax, like the finale of this, I did not care for at all. I thought it was a copy and paste of the first ending. If you've seen the first film, you know what I'm talking about. But the acting, from everyone was fine. Shot the same, pretty much. You could tell they had a somewhat more money, I guess. It seemed like this the same feel really as the first film. So, um, but there's highlights of this. Like I like the idea of the legend of this Abaddon Hotel. The stuff that happened in the first film. It has these, people doing challenges online or trending where they'll go to do a challenge to sneak into the Abaddon Hotel and, stuff happens to them. Um, there's even one point where the character, two guys pick up a hitchhiker girl, and we find out later on that wasn't really a person. I don't even know if those two guys made it out or not because they don't never. Uh, I assume they. I'm gonna just go with they made it away, but hopefully. But that scene overall, that was creepy. I thought with the hitchhiking chick and the two guys. Um, the strobe lights with the flickering. A scene where they're trying to get out of hallways or whatever, and they go through this maze of mannequins, and you think the one girl's a mannequin as well until she blinks, and then that's what she's not not. Um, but overall, I liked the first one more, I would say, because it was fresh. This one tries to, again, it does use footage a bit from the first film, which was cool too. So if you like continuity, because they do try to build on the mythology of this Andrew Tully guy. The spoilers from here on out, I kind of recommend it, but I don't recommend it. I don't know. It's fine. Um, I do say it is a good companion piece with the first film. If you're one of those people who would like trilogies or a sequel to another film, I guess you can say this is a good sequel because it does expand on stuff. But spoilers on out. Now the ending, you find out, and it does this whole, mockumentary thing where they're talking about what happened in the first film, and people that are in this film that go to the Abaddon Hotel, they're doing an interview, but then you find out those people are dead, or at least the one guy you find out is Andrew Tully, the mayor-looking dude or town hall man. You find out, yeah, that's Andrew Tate or Tully, I mean. um, but that twist of him, being interviewed, and I don't know, because again, they did that in the first film with the Sarah character, where she was not really Sarah; it was a ghost or a demon of her. Which again, how are these things allowed to able to navigate far away from the hotel to a police station? And then I guess, but then there's also this Andrew guy, this ghost. He's able to mail evidence or whatever, tapes to so and so, to this Jessica girl journalist team. Hence why she goes, and then the reporter from the first film ending, with the final scene of her and a camera guy getting trapped in a room with evil Sarah. You find out a member of her team is in this one, and he wants answers, so that's why he goes to the Abaddon Hotel in this one. And I don't know, like granted, they don't really use the clown scares as much, which was fine. He's there for whatever. I thought he was used fine. For what he was, what they wrote him to do. They do use some CGI in this, which would probably throw some people off. I didn't mind it. Like, it was because you find out, I guess this Andrew guy, he killed himself in the 80s because he was apparently a head of a cult, an actual cult, and that was their plan, was to commit suicide, and then I guess then influence other living humans to visit the hotel and then kill them, and then send ghosts of them out into the world to also recruit them to come to the hotel to get more victims. I guess, like, I don't like that. I don't like that idea of this Andrew guy is able to email people, mail people, fax things to people, like, what? Or even or call in uh, to news radio stations or channels or whatever. Like, you don't need all that. Like, that's kind of, because he explains at the end, like, oh, this is all domino effect, and everything's in place, but because I know how it will end, but I need you to continue to make it work, or something. Like, I think they were being a little bit too ambitious with that whole explanation at the end. And I think you do have the Alex actor from the first film. I think him and another actor from the first film, they come back. They don't do anything. They just sit there and at the table at the end and don't blink at or just stare at each other. But while this whole, evil villain monologue is going on, which is fine, but like, didn't need the explanation of this Andrew guy. It could have been just this place is just evil, and if it, or it could have been like The Grudge, where like you know you just it just beckons to call you or whatever, and you can't help but you get tempted to go there. You try to fight it, but you end up going there anyway. You could have did that, but no, it has to have ghost emailing and texting or whatever. But again, I liked the aspect of people doing challenges, you know, sneaking into this hotel, and it has like montages of people. You'll get like snippets of videos of people going into this place, experiencing stuff. Don't know if I guess some of them do make it up, but well, I guess not, because they do mention the Facebook dude was streaming and he disappeared. So I guess anybody who goes in this place, they just automatically disappear. But yeah, pretty much it ends with the monologue guy, the Andrew Tully, giving a monologue. And he kills the two women at the end, and I guess the guy lives. The one guy who was like one of the members, one of the team members of the reporter that went missing in the first film at the end. I guess he lives, but then not really, because we don't see him at the end. We see the Jessica character getting interviewed by police. But then you see that she's evil or dead or whatever, and then it just ends. And it's written and directed by the same dude from that did the first film. So, I mean, I do like the fact I like the attempt of explanations of stuff, but I don't know. I just could not. There's also one scene I like where the one guy, the the final guy, I guess you can call him, where he's running around in the hotel hallways or whatever, and he sees, I guess it's supposed to be like a memory of, or a mirage of Sarah on the phone talking about Alex in the hallway, but then like he walks past her, and I guess she notices him, but then like I like the scene. I do like that scene because it's creepy where he walks past her, but then her voice changes down to like a demonic thing, and he turns around, and then you see a ghoul-looking version of her. So I thought that was cool. So yeah, overall I don't. If you like the first film, I guess watch this one because it does expand. I keep saying expand, but it does explain character motivations of the first film with Alex's character anyway. Hence, that's also I did say I wonder why so and so doesn't leave in the first film. We find out why in this one. Although that was with the Alex character, you can just say he's being influenced by this Andrew Tully guy. But yeah, the acting in this was fine from everyone. It was decent, not amazing, but just there for me. I am curious of how this trilogy ends, because again, they're doing a fourth one. And that's supposed to be Origins, but I guess it's not really Origins related. But okay. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Give your thoughts. Give your comments down. Your thoughts on the first two films. This one and the first one. Do you prefer this one over the first one, or the first one over this one? Let me know in the comments. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, and yeah.